thought we'd have a little look inside this Bush speaker thingamajig. I think it's supposed to. It's an old iPod, iPhone type thing. Apparently it doesn't work anymore. It's been sat in my workshop thing for many months, as you can probably tell by all the dust. And I thought to myself, well, it's about time I either repaired it or just destroyed it, because I'll have the wire off it and the plug and other bits and bobs if it doesn't work. So let's plug it in and see what actually happens. Nothing's happened yet. Oh, it's a bit rattly. Let's switch the on switch to on and see what happens. Nothing. Maybe it has to have something connected to it for it to do anything. Well, I don't have anything with that old connection anymore. The only Apple devices I have the small little micro connection thing, so we're just going to have to assume that this doesn't actually work. So let's get taking it apart, shall we? Right then, let's have a look to see what the first things we need to do to get into it are. Oh, we've got some nice Phillips screws on the bottom, so I suppose we'll undo those, see what's inside there. Hopefully this will get the bottom of it off. We can see what joys lie inside. This actually was quite good when it used to work. We used it when we went camping and all kinds of stuff, because we used to take a generator when we went camping so that we could power fridges and speakers and other bits and bobs. Yeah, this was pretty good back then. Nothing under those little feet. But it's been reported to me that it stopped working, so no idea why it stopped working. Bit dusty under there. Nothing particularly good. Alright, had a little interruption there. I've had to get another screwdriver out because this one is, well, the other one I was using is too big. These are well and truly screwed down, this board. Nice and tight. I noticed there was a little bit of rust in here, so it's probably got wet at some point. These screws are weak. Very weak screws indeed. Not quite sure whether Bush is a good make or not, to be honest with you. These screws will be alright. I think it's just the other ones. They were a little bit rusted. I don't reckon it's going to be anything visually wrong. It's probably just something that just went inside. I don't know how old it is. I think this was, well, it's got the old Apple connections in it. I dare say that it's quite old. Probably from, well, I don't know, when did the first Apple devices come out? I mean, I don't even know when the first Apple devices came out, so... That does look a little bit burnt, actually, wherever that is. I'm not quite sure what that's meant to be. It's just glue holding the wire down for some reason, but it looks a little bit singed, to say the least. See if we can get a bit more light on the situation. Well, to try and get a bit more light on the situation, I've just wired a simple plug like this strip light here that I have never had. I didn't get round to wiring it into the main electric yet. I've got another one here that I haven't got round to wiring in yet. But I'll just put just a plug on this one, just for now, so that hopefully, fingers crossed, it will work. Oh dear. Ah, it works if you push on the end. If you push on the end, then it then it goes off. That ain't no good, is it? Ah, dearie me. Right, try and fix this now. God blimey, this is going a bit off track, isn't it? Right, I fixed it, I think. Switch the switch on. Ah, there we go. Now we've got a bit more light on the old situation. Sweet. Lovely job. Right. Where were we? we're in the middle of taking this off, I believe. So, where are these screws at here? Where are these screws at? Oh, what are you doing? Ah, that's the little, that's why they're all jammed in there. Quite dusty. I'm not sure what that is. Oh look, we've got some capacitors and resistors, bits and bobs lying about. Nothing appears to be physically damaged. I was hoping this would be spectacular and there would be something burnt or something would be on fire as I take it off and fire would come raging out. But nothing like that has happened. I might be able to use some of this for some parts, you know. I might be able to make something useful. I don't know. Who knows what's going on. It's interesting to take things apart though and see what's inside them. And like, you know, what's going on. That's our little docking station bit, little LED, bits and bobs. That will effectively take this whole circuit board out now. That's pretty much all it is. I wanted to get to the speakers because the speakers is the bit that I was actually like interested in. I don't know how we would get into that. Let's see if we can pry this front case bit off. Appears to be stuck with a bit of glue. It's not coming off like that, that's for sure. What have we got under here, I wonder? We might have some screws under this label. Nope, nothing. That label just tells you what it is and where it came from. We all know where it come from, Argos. 45 watts these speakers are. Not bad. It was actually pretty loud for iPod 5G. It was actually pretty loud when it was working. It wasn't too bad. It was quite nice, loud sounding music will come out of it, and it did have quite a lot of bass as well. Those little buttons were for bass. No, they weren't. They were for volume. It did have quite good bass actually. Right, I'm going to try and pry this open. Right, after a small degree of prying, there is no screws. All the screws are in here to get the front off. These are pretty like basic small little speakers. Oh, found a light bulb that was not in here. So let's get the right screwdriver and take the front off, shall we? We'll take the front off, and then after that we'll take the speakers out, because I'm interested in these speakers. I've got a use for them. I've got many speakers, and I like messing around with sound. Sound's a very cool thing to mess around with. You can do a lot of interesting things with sound. So I'm going to use these speakers if they're any good, and if I can find a way to utilise them. Right, so now we've undone those screws. I wonder if this front part... Oh, that's because there's some more screws in here. God, this thing's got screws everywhere. They didn't want people taking this apart, that's for sure. It was actually quite well built. Gotta give them credit. It was quite well built. I think these docking station things are a bit out of date now, aren't they? I don't ever see them anywhere. I don't have one. I don't ever see them anywhere anymore. All wireless music now, I suppose. Right, so Now we've got them screws out, there can't be any more screws. Yeah, there we go. Another little circuit board in there. A lot of shrink wrap that hasn't been shrunk. There's a little transformer down in there. A lot of dust. Smells quite funny. So how can we get this out? I might have to snip the wires. Hang on. See if I can get that little plug. That's just a little plug that plugs on there. Little plug that was. It plugged on there. We got that off. It's another little plug. These are all just little plugs. Another little plug there. Pretty much that. Got a little heat sink or something there. Now these speakers, nice little magnets on them as well. Might even be able to use the magnets if the speakers ain't any good. There we go. That's the bit that I was interested in. Sweet. Little heatsink, I think that is there. Don't know, it wouldn't get particularly hot, I wouldn't have thought, but you never know, it might do. So we got 8 ohms, these are 8 ohm speakers. Now, that's pretty much, I wanted between 4 and 8, so we got 8 ohm speakers. They'll come in very handy, so let's take them speakers out. There's not a lot else in here, but I'm going to take my speakers out and I'll be able to use those. Nice little 8 ohm speakers. The lower the ohms, the more resistance there is. So it's better that they're 8 actually. Be a little bit less resistance. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's inside here. Wonder what else I can take apart. If you want to see me take apart anything else, send me a comment or a message and I'll take it apart and have a look inside and see what's in there. Fascinating stuff. There we go, nice little 8 ohm speaker. That'll come in very handy for a little speaker for a radio or something. Might even put it in the car, just put it sort of under the dash or something, attach the CB to it, and that'll be a nice little speaker. Might have 2 of them, one either side. Nice little speaker arrangement for the CB. Lovely job. Sweet.